We've put in learners, we've put in clients, we've put in qualifications. Now we bring it all together in the training event scheduler. It's a busy page, but it keeps everything together. We'd give our course a unique name so we can find it easier later on, because you might well be presenting this FETC course on a number of occasions. We then link to that course, and once we've done that, the course that we developed, I think we just called ours just now the LMS demo, that course will now be locked into the back of this training event scheduler, so the unit standards we built there, or the modules we built there, will be now linked here on this page. Our learners are already in the system, as we saw before, so to add them, click, find them on the drop down, and you'll notice we have a lot of Abrahams there. You've got the opportunity then to make sure you've got the right name, and more importantly, you can check to make sure it's the right ID number and the unique reference number that the database gives you. Moving on from there, we can put in fees due. You could also actually put in the fee due on the qualification builder so it comes in automatically. We can put accommodation fees in, manuals, catering, etc. And if we supply lunch or any sort of refreshments to our learners, we can go through and put in whether it's the dietary requirements they have, are they halal, kosher, whatever. And again, you can double click and add as many different dietary requirements as you like at this point. Facilitators, assessors, moderators and venues are all in the database, and they're on drop downs. If we're starting off the whole process and you want to put new ones in, we would double click at the top, find the learner, also click to the courses we built that he is qualified to train on our behalf, and then moving on to any courses that he's already trained on our behalf. We click on here and they come in automatically. We can also link to any organization that they're registered with that's part of their qualifications to do the courses they're running on our behalf. Under assessors, you find there's places to link to their CV and to their identifier document. Venues, we can put in the number of seats that's in that venue and other resources that may be required. Once we've got the number of seats in there, you'll see over here it's got the number of seats booked and still available, so it automatically decreases the number of seats available as we're going through, so we don't underutilize that facility or overpopulate it. Further down we have other resources we can put in. At the bottom, where the course is finished or training intervention is finished, we can link to an assessor report, a moderator's report, a facilitator's report and evaluations. We can also print out an attendance register. This we can do either daily like we have here, or we can print one out weekly, or on a 7-day one should I say. We have a thing called an event planner where we automatically bring in the information that we've put in, our resources like the venue, assessors, etc., and go through and double check that they've actually been booked. You know, we want to train in room 1. Has it been booked? Who booked it? So if our learners arrive and the doors are locked, we know who to get hold of quickly to make sure that we stop any problems occurring in this particular course. We can print out a report of that information and send that through to, if we want to, through to our facilitator or client on site. We've got booking confirmation letters, venue availability and facilitator availability, invoicing per client, invoice per learner. We have a costing section where we can put in basic costing, and again you drop down the expense. If it's not there, double click and add it, and you can pull out a costing report so that you can do work with, or if you want to, you can even highlight the side here, copy and paste it into Excel, and then manipulate it any way you want to. Work with markup percentages, work with tender information, whatever suits you. We have an evaluation section where we can build our questions. There's 7 on courses, 7 on facilitators. Obviously you can change these if you want. We have one client who's got all the questions in Sutu. He lives in Polokwane and the majority of his learners are Sutu speaking. We would then print out the evaluation forms that can be given to the learners. They give us feedback and we print out our feedback report. Now once we've got to this stage, we can look at evaluations, assessments. The system is designed that it brings in the learner information and the unit standard automatically and the unit standard title automatically. We just put in the date of assessment, the assessor and the result. If it's a non-unit standard base, then we can put in passed, failed or percentages. We can say, has a POE been submitted? If not, why not? Did we use this course for RPL purposes? What tools we use? And any notes and recommendations from assessors or facilitators can be added here. At this stage we can print out an assessment either individually for the whole course or an assessment for our clients, for all the students or learners they have with us. Once we've done any of these assessments, we can click on the email icon there. It'll automatically attach this report or any report that you use in the database to an email. You've just got to type in the recipient and then you can send it straight off. We have a portfolio of evidence tracking facility, a section for projects, certification, where if we capture information on the side here, we can either click on the export certification and that button, and that sends the information through to Excel, where we can then mail merge it into any artwork we have, or we can click on one of our assessment or attendance certificate buttons, which gives us a basic attendance course or an attendance certificate that we can use to send out information to our learners. We've got assessment preparation, moderation, mentoring and tutoring, and site visits. Now we've got all the information in the database. What do we do with it? Well, first of all, we have over 150 reports in the system. Starting with admin, where we can see who's been in the logs and check are we happy that the certification has been done correctly. We have HR reports. We have client reports, training event reports, learner reports, qualifications, and CETA reports. Now at that stage we can go through and pick up, close the reports, and then look at what other facilities we have in the database. Now on the admin side, the administration side, we can back up from here. We can archive old learners if we want to. Now bearing in mind that we have a number of clients who've got over 30,000 learners on their LMSs. In fact, we had one the other week where we were doing some research with it, where they have 26,000 learners and about 8,000 courses they've put in over the last 4 or 5 years. The data at the back of that, because what we would do is split the data section that holds the data for the learners away from the interface which we're looking at here. But the data side of that came to between 48 and 52 megs, so it's not a huge resource eater, as it were. We can send reports through to the CETAs, and what happens here is we can click on an achievement report, or we can click on a similar report with the right formats in Excel, so we can then copy and paste that information into the internet websites of the CETAs and send the information through to them that way. We can change our company information or employee information. And finally, one of the negatives we picked up when we first started doing research on our market research was that it's all in good having information and reports in a database, but if a client needed their own report, the perception was they would have to come back to us, we'd do it for them, they get charged, and away we'd go. That was a negative. So what we've done is we've got basically 80% of the information, core information in the database, can be exported from one form or the other into Excel, and then you can manipulate it or join it or link it to pull out your own reports. Now that is a very quick overview, as I said earlier, of the information that can go into the database. If you have any further questions or you want a one-on webinar with us, that's fine. All we need you to do is give us a call on 0861 847 882, that's 0861 virtual, or drop us a line at info@virtual-it.co.za. Well, thanks for spending this time with us, and I hope you found it interesting, and if it can be of any further assistance, please let us know. Good day.